Hello, Clarice. Guys, I tried to make seafood boil. I'm so proud of myself. Look at it. Look at it. Yo. Got some boiled eggs, got some corn, got some potatoes, shrimp, crab. Hopefully it's gonna be good. I have it sitting on midnight sun, so we're just gonna put that back. I know a lot of people have like huge things of sauce for their mukbangs. I don't really know why. So I have my little baby one. What I have to drink today is this homemade jamaica. Yeah, I think it went pretty okay. It has a lot of spice to it. Like it has allspice in it, it has cinnamon in it. Okay, I want to try one of these shrimps. I have a bowl to the side so that I can put all the scraps in it. So I'm gonna toss that in the bowl. It's a pretty decent sized bowl. I'm gonna try this in the sauce. Hold on, did I kill this? Why was that buttery and melty? I mean, I dipped it in butter sauce, but that was really good. Oh my gosh. Ciao. Okay, let's try this egg. You know what? This isn't what I was going for, but it's really, really good. What I was going for was, you know, an authentic ramen, how they have like those eggs, they're like flavored eggs. I don't know how they do it, but I was hoping that I could do that, and it didn't work out. Maybe there's like a technique that I don't know, but my window's open, so you might be able to hear my neighbors, or you might be able to hear my grandma's TV because it's kind of loud. But ooh, the corn. Completely forgot about the corn. All right, I don't want to drip this everywhere, so let me just. Did you see that splatter? She enjoyed it as much as I did. My goodness. That corn has soaked up. Ooh, goodness, almost fell. That corn has soaked up so much flavor. I could just eat it over my bowl. That's a smart thing. Before I cooked this corn, I like cut it in half. It was actually pretty difficult. I definitely think I used the wrong knife because I had a solid. Had to saw and saw and saw and break a sweat and saw again. There's like onion on it. I didn't even show you. Hopefully you can see. I don't know. I completely forgot to show you the corn. I don't think I've showed you really anything so far. To be fair, they just look like what they are. Oh, so good. Okay, put this in a little bit more sauce. Okay. I'm getting suspicious because this is like actually really good. As I said earlier, my food is sitting on midnight sun. I have yet to read it fully. I've read the first few chapters. I don't care for it. I don't vibe with the writing style of any of the Twilight books. I don't really vibe with the writing style. I think it's such a good story, but the way that it's written is sometimes a little frustrating. Here's what I mean. While I attempt to open this crab, I keep wanting to put like my trash up here, but I don't want you to like look at it. Okay, here's what I mean by that. Oh, this is gonna be painful. I can already tell with all the little spikes on it. So, oh, okay, that worked out kind of okay. I need to look up like a technique on how to do this. I wonder if I can cut it. I do not have crab scissors. I have scissors. So we're gonna see that today if this can work. What's even worse is these aren't even like kitchen scissors or like shears. These are like office supply from the Dollar Tree scissors. Let's see how they go against this snow crab. Okay, yeah. When I was in high school and even when I was in college, there was kind of a rule whenever you're writing that whenever you use a word, like especially like a descriptive word, you don't want to use the same words too often. Like you want to find synonyms basically to keep it a little bit more interesting. And I think about that. That was not as painful as I thought it would be, so I'm beaming so far. Yeah, I think about that rule every time I read her books. I can't even help it. It just, like I haven't read the first few books in a few years, but I remember when I was reading that long ago, it would be like, for example, it'd say, oh, he had small beady eyes. And you read that in the middle of a page. And then you move on to the next page and like somewhere on that page it would reference small beady eyes again. It's like there's different ways to say that without just saying it again. It's like I don't know. Like there's ooh. Oh, I can't wait for that to get in this sauce. Oh, it's flaky. If I were to say his rugged composure was attractive. And if I want to reference that again, I wouldn't say it outright. I'd probably say like this masculine stature, this Thor-like stance, this, I don't know, X, Y, and Z, right? There's different ways to say the same thing. And that used to really bother me about her books. It's not coming out in a whole piece. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's so flaky. How am I going to do this? If I dip it outright, I'm definitely going to drop some of the sauce. I mean, some of the crab in the sauce. So let me just try to scoop it. Well, we're here. This is definitely not going to be the plainest thing you're ever going to see. I did such a good job, and I'm so proud of myself. That makes me so freaking happy because these ingredients were expensive as crap. Like the shrimp alone was $30, and then the crab, like, and then the corn, and just everything, just adding and adding and adding. I was just watching the total go up, and I was like, mm, 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 mm.
Future Lexus here. I just wanted to let you know that I am currently editing the video that you are watching. And now that I have noticed that sauce drip, drip, dripping down my chin, just signing the lease and moving in. And though I did not know in the moment, I will let you know that my intuition will eventually have me wipe the buttery abomination from my face. But until then, I hope you continue to peacefully enjoy your viewing. Thank you. Love you. Bye bye.
So that's the thing that frustrates me about the Twilight books. And so when I saw Midnight Sun, I was super excited for it because I love the movies. I feel like just it is so reminiscent of the time in my life when they came out. Like, it just takes me back to like sitting in theaters. Honestly, you guys, Breaking Dawn Part 2, that's one of the last movie experiences that I can recall where the whole audience was on the same page. I'll say spoiler alert. I mean, if you haven't seen Twilight, which, I mean, you're late to the party, but I'm late to many parties, so that's okay. But spoiler alert, when they ripped off Carlisle's head, I had so many emotions. Ew, even right now my heart just like fluttered. My heart dropped in that theater. I gasped. I instantly started crying. And one thing that they did, ew, I'm getting covered in goosebumps. One thing that they did that I think that they did very well was when Esme has this look of terror and Edward has this look of shock and like everyone's just in awe, there's no sounds. Like, you don't hear a scream, or you don't hear like a like, you don't hear that. It's like this silence as the music goes up, and it's so well done. It hyped me up in that theater. So yeah, love the book. So when this, I mean, excuse me, love the movies. So when this came out, I was curious and excited to see, because it's from Edward's perspective and it's written in first person, just like the other Twilight books. I wanted to see how the writing for him would change from the writing of her, because not only would Stephenie Meyer mature as a writer, but Edward is over 100 years old, whereas Bella, when it started, she was like 17. So it's like, this man with all of these like years of experience and like repeating school and all that kind of stuff, this poet who can quote like Romeo and Juliet by randomly being called on in the class, I wanted to see how he would write. And though the writing was very much improved, that pet peeve happened a few times, and it was just a few times too many. So yeah, when that happened in the theater and you just hear everybody in the audience gasp, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. It was something that we all like experienced together. I don't know if movies do that nowadays. I mean, especially the pandemic. It's not like a bunch of people are going to movies anyway. Actually, let me know the last movie that you can recall where the audience just shared an emotion like that, because I might watch it. I might just have to watch it if it's that good. One thing that I've always wanted to do is write a book. I've wanted to write a book since I was like 5 years old. I started writing one when I was 15. I don't remember how many pages I got. I think I got like 60. I think it was pretty okay. I mean, I was trying to write about experiences that I had never experienced. I did a lot of research for it, actually. Like, there was a part when one of my characters, his mom was like addicted to... Can I get demonetized if I say this? To raclolaine. I did so much research for it that I was like concerned. I was like, the FBI is gonna look at my search history and like think that I'm trying to do something that I'm not. And I had some friends read it, and I remember one person, he was like, this is too scientific. Like, people who do this wouldn't refer to things as like their government name. And I was like, that's a good point. So one day I'm gonna go back to finishing that book. But I've always wanted to write stories, like fiction. Always wanted to. I love romance and drama and thrillers and all that. I forgot how good the corn is. So I wanted to paint my nails green because I knew I was going to do green makeup because I have a green alien, which you can't even see because I'm hidden. But I painted my nails yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting because I didn't have nail polish the color of this alien. So I ended up mixing two polishes together. One was a deep, like evergreen, mossy, like Christmassy, rich green. And the other one was like this one, like a neonish, like lime green. Mix them together. They didn't flow together. I should have used like nail polish remover to like thin it out, make it easier to mix, but it was just clumpy. So I took all that off, and then I got the genius idea to use acrylic paint. I mixed some colors together, threw acrylic paint on, threw a nail polish top coat on, and was like, okay. That didn't last. Child, that did not last. It was just a mess. And when it like came off, instead of like chipping off in a corner or whatever, the whole thing would just lift off and just come off in a whole piece. So I had to repaint them last night using the polish, and I just went with the light green one. I figured the dark one almost in certain lights can look black. So I was like, at least this way you know that I tried to match. Ooh. Okay. Am I weak? Jeez, why did that kind of get me out of breath? My goodness, why was I holding my breath while I was doing that? Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's nice. Take a bite of this egg. I can't see myself. I can kind of see myself, but it's like behind my ring light, so I can't see. But I just feel like my chin is gonna be super glossy and shiny from all of this buttery greasiness. But I've used all my paper towels. I have like half of one left, and I'm trying to save that for the very end. That was a lot of butter in that bite. Ooh. I want to ask you guys a question. And it's something I didn't think was odd until I've had conversations with other people. When you dream, what does that look like? Take a moment to think about that. Like, are you in your dreams? Are other people in your dreams? Is it first person? Is it third person? What does it look like? About 80 to 90% of the time, I'm not in my dreams. And even if I'm like a person doing things, it's not physically me. Like, I'm somebody else. Almost all of my dreams are like I'm watching a movie. Like some type of adventure or thrilling, or like me unraveling the plot as if I'm watching a movie. Like, I can be doing something and look at my hands, and then it will switch to like an omniscient perspective of me watching me do it, but there's nobody else in the room. Does any of this make sense? Does anybody out there relate to this? This potato has like marinated in this sauce by now. My cousin's in the living room. He makes videos, so his name is Josh Kebab, if you're into gaming and stuff. But he brought over his PS5. He is so excited. He just got it. And he was like, Lexus, I got a PS5. So, the PS5 is humongous. Like, I thought it was going to be a lot smaller than it is. For some reason, I have the PS3. Not to brag. But, yeah. So, the 5, I was like, why'd you bring a Wi-Fi router? I have one. And he was like, he brought it over because he wants me to game with him. Which, I mean, I have a PS3 and he kills me every time we play together, so I don't know why he thinks that I can do any better on the PS5, but I'm sure he wants to flex. I've been watching a ton of throwbacks recently. I watched Aquamarine, Crossroads, Georgia Rule, all of the Hannah Montanas, the Hannah Montana movie. I'm almost done with the first season of Lizzie McGuire. Also, almost done with the first season of That's a Raven. Yeah, a lot of throwback, feel good, coming of age movies. Oh, I gotta add She's the Man to my list. I used to watch that on repeat. Well, I gotta watch White Chicks too. That used to also be on repeat. One thing that I noticed in watching like Hannah Montana and a lot of stuff that was popular, the storyline is not consistent. And I think that they just really banked on back then, kids not noticing, and also the fact that like new episodes were a weekly thing. So you might forget certain details from week to week. Unlike, Disney Plus, where you can just watch them all back to back. I remember in one episode, Oliver had gotten a girlfriend. And then in the next episode, he's like still chasing women. And like a few episodes after that, he's back with his girlfriend. I'm like, these were filmed out of order. These were published out of order. Also, I think the dude in High School Musical, I think his name was Zeke. But like even the dialogue when he talks about his passions in baking and stuff, very similar to what's used in Hannah Montana.
Well, if Troy can tell his secret, then I can tell mine. I bake. What? I love to bake. Strudel, scones, even apple pan doubt it. Someday, I hope to make the perfect creme brulee.
The truth is, I'm a baker. What? I love to bake. Pies, cakes, tarts, and my snickerdoodles are off the chain.
I was watching that and I was like, I also watch all the High School Musicals, so. I don't know what it was about that last song. The Everyday song in the third High School Musical. I replayed that. Child, I replayed that like 4 or 5 times. Singing both parts. Tear in the right eye. I don't know. I must have just been in my feels that day. That's all she wrote. That's everything, I think. I'm so shocked I made this drink last. That's so good. Wet wipes. I mean, this one isn't technically a wipe for your hands. It's a like cleaner wipe, like a disinfectant wipe. It's Lysol. This is not for your hands. But here we are. This was fun. It's been a minute, but it was very fun. My name's Lexus Amour David. If you want to see what I post next, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye, guys. Oops. Don't be awkward. Don't be awkward, Lexus. Don't be awkward. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. I completely forgot how to end this thing. I don't remember my sign off, so I'm just gonna say cheerio. Bye. See you later. See you later, alligator. See you later. See you later, alligator. See you later. See you later, alligator. Ow. Sheesh.